The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host, the show, the management, and the network. Hi, buddies. My name is Don Banana. It's good to be back right here on CTV Exclusives. First and foremost, we want to thank Matt Reinhardt for taking over for me while I was gone. And now that my special assignment is over, I can give you my guest for today. So today's guest has her release that is currently out right now on all streaming platforms, and she will hopefully do it right. And currently her strongest at 5 million streams, her single is titled Baghari. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to CTV Exclusives, the artist formerly known as Elle Sebastian, now Gabrielle.
Hi, what's up?
I'm doing good.
Hello.
Thank you
Good
for
to see
joining.
you.
Thank you for joining us today, Gabrielle.
Thank you.
So what? Let's settle the debate once and for all. What prompted your decision to rebrand from Elle Sebastian to Gabrielle, and how has this transition influenced your artistry and personal growth?
Thank you for the question. I wanted to show people my growth in terms of music and in terms of my journey as an artist through a different name. And I know it's such a risk, and people have they tried to stop me from changing my name kasi sayang raw, kasi kilala na ako as Elle. But in my heart, I knew that I needed to make that decision in order to make more room for my new songs to flourish. And so that's why I created Gabrielle, and I'm really happy about it.
And we are very happy to have you here.
Thank
So,
you.
can you elaborate on the significance and symbolism behind the name Gabrielle and how it aligns with your artistic vision?
So it's very simple lang. My mama told me a million times that she actually wanted to name me Gabrielle when I was a kid, when I was born. And I held on to that name for quite some time, and I didn't know why. But when I came to the decision this year to do my rebranding, I spoke to one of my leaders in church that, hey, I want to name myself as Gabrielle, and she told me that Gabrielle is actually a messenger. Um, and so when I got that, and she elaborated more that I can be the messenger for women in my generation, I knew that it solidified this whole artistry na I should be known as Gabrielle. Yeah.
And I'm glad that you took that name instead of El Sebastian. So how has the rebranding process affected your relationship with your existing fan base? And how have they responded to the change?
I haven't formally, or I didn't do any grand entrance as Gabrielle. I did it very slowly, and what I love about my listeners is that they're truly accepting, and they are so patient with me, with my journey as an artist. And what I hope to do more, especially with this rebranding. And rebranding is not easy. It took a lot of time and effort and sacrifice to get to where I am now. So what I only want to do this time is to give back to my listeners for being so patient and for staying with me in this journey.
Very patient indeed. If yeah.
Yeah.
So were there any other challenges and surprises that you encountered during the rebranding process? And how did you overcome them?
I think the biggest thing was fear. The fear of not being accepted, the fear of if I'm actually doing it right this time, or am I going to land on the same patterns as before? And what I did to overcome it is to really realign myself and my principles. Na what do I really want as an artist? What is my purpose? What are my advocacies? And so I had to sit down and really think about it and not let fear stop me from being the artist that I am. So yeah, and also being surrounded by good people that actually call me out and keep me grounded. Yeah. So yeah.
So I don't want you to get fear. So you need to be fearless in life. You should not be having fear in your situations. So think about your.
I can say that I can do things even when I'm afraid. And I think that's courage. So yeah.
It takes a lot of courage to have a lot of guts too.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways, as Gabrielle, how do you envision your future as an artist, and what aspirations do you have for your career under this new identity?
I recently said this in an interview that I want to be part of conversations that talks about the struggles of women and children and how can I help my community in terms of that. Like I want to partner with different communities right now. I'm trying to reach out to Gabriella community and I want to have a meeting with them and talk to them about my advocacies and how I can help as an artist in terms of my
Oh,
music.
yeah, yeah. So Gabriella and Gabrielle, isn't that
It's gonna be a
amazing?
great tandem.
Ironic, coincidental at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, on that note about children's and women's rights, so what initially sparked your passion for advocating for children's and women's rights, and how do you use your platform as an artist to raise awareness about these issues?
Right. So earlier this year, I started serving in my church. I go to Favor and I serve in the kids ministry. And I think I've been planted the seed to be more involved when it comes to helping out with these kids. And I also realized that there's so much that we need to talk about when it comes to helping these kids, like in terms with their emotions and how they handle conflict. And I've been so convicted to learn more about how kids are, how is their behavior today, and how, as an adult, how can I help kids who are not able to study, who don't have their families, who who they don't have education, and I want to learn more about that. I don't just want to sit and make music about myself. I needed something bigger for me. I needed something more than just my world of, I know, of just making music about my stories. And so I want to use my platform to speak out and to spread awareness that there's so much we need to talk about in terms of learning the rights of women and children. And I hope that I can do this right. I hope that I get to reach the right people and to learn more about my advocacies. I want my music to grow alongside my advocacies.
Very good to hear. So, could you share some examples of initiatives or projects that you have been involved in that support children's and women's rights? You mentioned about Gabriela, and then you are a church, you work for the church, right?
I serve, yes.
Serve, yes. Could you share some examples of initiatives or projects you have been involved in?
So right now I'm currently reaching out to some female artists in our local scene, and I don't know if I'm even supposed to say this, but we are planning a collaboration on a song, and I want to keep that as is lang. I don't want to say more, but I'm really excited about it, and I'm sure that a lot of people, especially women, are gonna look forward to this song. So yeah.
Still a lot of women, so we're gonna keep an eye on that new
Yes.
collaboration that you're working on.
Mm.
So, when it comes to striking a balance between music career and advocacy work, how do you strike a balance between the two? And do you see them as interconnected or separate aspects of your life?
I think I believe they are truly interconnected. I feel like I don't have I don't see a problem on balancing those two things, because I know that my purpose fuels my passion. So I always have to try to make time to sit down and not be an artist, but just be a listener. Like listen to people, be involved in conversations, be present, and then try to learn something from it and actually apply it in making my music. So I think I'm doing well.
Indeed, you're doing quite well and quite good, actually. So, what impact do you hope to make through your advocacy efforts? And how do you measure the success of your work in this area?
All right. I, as an artist, I understand that we can only do so much for our communities, right? And while I can still do what I do, I want my impact to encourage people to feel safe, to be okay in being vulnerable, to be encouraged to take part in difficult conversations. Um, Especially for me, like as a woman, I know that there are things that I still need to learn. Ang dami ko pang blind spots um, as an artist. So, yung willingness ko sana ma-encourage yung listeners ko to also take that step, to also have courage to do more, not just for ourselves, but also for our communities and the things that we believe in. And as long as my music can reach even just one person and inspire them and give them hope that life is still good, that we are still able to breathe and to make good things in this lifetime, I feel like sobrang gift na yun sa akin as an artist, to continue to let people know that hope is available in all our circumstances and never let pain stop us from doing what we're supposed to do.
I agree wholeheartedly because I'm trying to be emotional again. When was the last time I was in this emotional? I don't know. But this is quite an emotional interview for some people, but let me get back to this one. Are there any specific challenges or obstacles you have faced while advocating for children's and women's rights? And how have you overcome them?
Right now, my focus has been on the rebranding, because if hindi solidified yun, then medyo malilito yung mga tao kung sino ako as an artist. So it's only now that I'm reaching out to communities, talking to people about what I want to do, what plans I want to have. And yeah, it really starts with a firm foundation kasi. So nandun ako sa stage na yun, just to clarify where I'm at.
So you're building up a foundation for you to build something strong. You have to
Yes.
start strong and finish strong, as they say.
Yes.
So let's talk about now your music. So can you tell us about your journey as an artist and how it has led you to your latest release, Do It Right?
It has been a journey, a roller coaster, not never linear at all. Ang dami kong na-face na rejections, ang dami kong na experience na andun na tapos wala na naman. And also, I've experienced heartbreak, and with heartbreak, it changes you. It totally changed my perspective, and also um, finding finding my way back to spirituality, to my faith, uh, helped me as an artist. And what led me to do the whole rebranding, to release Do It Right, was my faith. My faith that I can still write and make music even when I'm in pain, even if ang dami na nangyari na rejections and just painful experiences. I need those to shape me. I can't just let it sit like rocks, on the ground. Like I have to pick them up and make something out of it because I know it's worth it. So yeah, my journey has been such a ride, but it's a ride now I never want to leave. It's a heartbreak now I can take.
Yes, I agree with that. And also, I just want to ask you that I have faced so many rejections in life,
Yeah.
and I can totally understand what you're saying. So, what inspired you to create Do It Right, and how does it differ from your previous releases?
So I think the main difference is it's a different genre. It's more groovy, it's more soul and R&B, and it's something that I truly enjoy. I know that my mom enjoys it. She's been telling me about how she loves Do It Right. And for me, Do It Right was a product of my heartbreak. And what I love about being a singer-songwriter is that I have an outlet to use. I have an outlet where I could pour out my emotions, and I know that this song was, it seems like so groovy and so easy to listen to, but the writing process and the whole production side of things, that was hard for me because I had to keep reliving my pain in the process of making the song. But it was worth it because now I have a song that can help people with their heartbreak and with their grieving process as well.
So now we got that out of the way. So could you share with us the creative process behind your strongest release so far, Baghari, and
Yep.
how it has resonated with your audience?
Uh, so Bahaghari wasn't supposed to be a single in the first place. Like I remember my English teacher uh asked me to write a song for her event. And so I partnered up with my friend Helen Balawing, and we sat down to try to write uh initially an English song about hope because the event was all about hope. And it didn't work. It didn't work out. So I took a break. Like I took some time off, and then pagbalik ko, sabi ko, sige, let's try to write it in Filipino. And she she played this progression. She played the progression of Baghari, and naturally the words just came out. Like I knew what I needed to say about Baghari and for Baghari. And I was so surprised that there there were a lot of people that listened to the song. I didn't expect it at all. As in, sobrang malaking surprise siya sa akin as an artist. Kasi I only wrote that song for honestly myself, because I needed to hear something that speaks about hope. And so I love that Bahaghari continues to touch people's lives, and I'm so happy that I still get messages that, the song saved them from their circumstances, and they keep Bahaghari in their playlists, and that makes me so happy and so grateful as an artist.
I'm so glad that there are people who gives hope and who doesn't agree with me. If you do disagree with what I'm gonna say, you will be toast. So I have to admit, like you said, the Filipino language talaga ay maganda talaga.
Yeah. Yes.
It just needs to be executed beautifully. And look at that. Baghari has gotten 5 million streams on Spotify, and now here's to 5 million more.
Yes, thank you.
So, what can fans expect from your upcoming releases? And are there any specific themes or messages you aim to explore?
The theme for my season is really exploring my heartbreak, and not just the pain of it, but also figuring out the pieces, like in terms of joy, nostalgia, anger, grief. Like I want to make time with those emotions, with those feelings through my new releases. And I don't want heartbreak to be my personality, I want people to know that I have to go through this heartbreak so I can find my way back to hope again. And even now, I still have hope in me. It's not overwhelming, but it's still there. So, yeah, I'm so excited to release the next songs, and I hope they get something out of it.
We hope so too. So, in what ways do you feel your music has evolved since your earlier releases? And how do you approach experimenting with new sounds and styles?
I'm more hands-on in terms of production, in terms of the not just with the songwriting, but what instruments do I want, what kind of mixing and mastering like tickles me as an artist. And I'm more certain, I'm more sure with my decisions now. Before kasi parang masyado pang malaki yung takot, and I just let other people do it for me. So now I want to take more steps na ako yung gumagawa ng decisions ko, and I have to be sure that I'm happy about them. If I'm not happy about a song, I cannot release it. I need to be happy.
Yes, we all need to be happy in life as well too,
Yes.
because happiness is the best thing that will lead to a happy life.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you have any message to your supporters who are tuning in right now?
Yes, I do. Well, first, I want to invite you guys to my single launch happening on June 22. It's a balcony music house. So, and it starts at 7. So if you guys want to catch me and other artists who are performing, you guys have to go. You have to buy the tickets, you guys. So, yes. And um what I hope for my listeners to get from me is to be okay with their emotions, to be okay being vulnerable, and I hope that they get to find the right people, be in the right space to be able to pour out what they need to say. Because I know what it feels like to hide from the world because of shame, because of guilt, and because of my sadness. And I don't want anyone to feel trapped in their own mind. I hope that my music will help them or will encourage them to use their voice, to take agency, na someone out there is willing to listen to their stories. And I hope that they continue to find hope in the mundane, and let life do its thing, you know? And they're gonna be okay.
Yes, indeed. Everything will be all right, and it's okay not to be okay. But if,
Yes.
like I always mention, if you're suffering anything that will jeopardize your mental health, it's
Mm,
not okay not to be okay.
yeah.
That's what I always say to all my mental health advocates. I'm a mental health advocate myself,
Oh,
even though I'm an ASPE, but you know, it's okay if you will be if not to be okay, but like I always say, it's not okay if you're having serious mental health issues. So
seek
that's
help talaga. Yeah.
yes, we need to seek help in what we do. So Gabrielle, thank you very much for joining us today. I know
Thank
it's
you
a
so
very long
much.
conversation, but we want to have a deep dive into your music, your rebrand, and your advocacies and all. I hope that everyone out there watching right now that they can listen to your stream songs, and I hope that your songs will resonate the
Yeah.
audience that you want to reach. So
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
And do you
nice to
have any
talk to
socials
you.
you want to follow us so for that way we can get in touch with you?
Yes. You can follow me on Instagram at Gabrielle Musica. It's with a C. So I'm also on Facebook, TikTok, uh, same thing, Gabrielle, and on Spotify, it's Gabrielle. Thank you so
All
much.
and thank you for joining us today, Gabrielle. I hope
Thank
your
you.
music will continue to resonate other people. So thank you for joining us today on CTV Exclusives. I know it's a very long episode, but it was worth it. I want to thank Gabrielle, our guest today. I hope there will be a pub at the end of the bathali.
Yes. Thank you.
Anyways, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. June tayo magaling! This is CTV Philippines.